a new file came in tonight. This one starts with 2 stones moved for a photo and ends with tire tracks behind a roadblock. In 2020, I worked on a railway tunnel project. That night, our manager sent us back after dinner to change display boards. We finished after midnight, but I still needed photos. One angle was blocked by an old board beside an unused service road. Stones crossed its mouth. One had old red cloth tied around it. Chen, the older site driver, was at the wheel. When he saw me walking toward the stones, he leaned out of the pickup with an unlit cigarette in his mouth. "Don't move those," he said. I told him it was just for a photo. Local people don't put things like that at old road mouths for fun. I looked at the stones. They were not big. If someone wanted to drive through, they would not stop a truck. "They're not for cars," he said. The group chat was still asking. Another worker and I moved 2 stones, took the photo, and got in. I just wanted to get back to the dorm. It did not feel serious. Chen looked at the opening, took the cigarette from his mouth, and crushed it under his boot. I opened GPS because project roads changed all the time. A few minutes later, GPS said, "Road work ahead," then switched to a faster route. That sounded normal, so we followed it. At first, the road looked fine, then houses disappeared and the road turned to gravel. I lowered my window and heard nothing outside. No insects, no dogs, no motorcycles, only tires on gravel. Chen reached over and rolled my window back up. I asked, "What's wrong?" "Look ahead," he said. I felt annoyed, like he was treating me like a kid. Then I noticed his hand was still on the window switch. GPS spoke again. "Continue for 300 meters, then turn right." There was no right turn in front of us. Then the headlights found a narrow dirt track through the grass. On my phone, the blue line turned into it too. Chen stopped before the track. Red cloth was tied to a branch at the side. Chen saw it before I did. He reached for his lighter and flicked it twice. Sparks came out. No flame. He threw the lighter into the console. "Not this one," he said. He drove straight. Less than 100 meters later, the road ended at a collapsed culvert. On GPS, it still continued. There was no place to turn around. Slope on the left, ditch on the right. Only the dirt track behind us had room. Chen said, "We reverse." He backed up slowly. After about 10 meters, the rear dropped. The tire spun in wet dirt, and the truck slid toward the ditch. Chen lowered his window. "Push from the back," he said. "When I give gas, push once, then get in." Then he looked past me toward the grass. "Don't shine your light over there. Don't call my name." I did not want to get out. My hand stayed on the handle too long. But the truck was leaning toward the ditch, and no one else was there. Outside, the air smelled like fresh dug soil. The rear tire had fallen into a narrow cut covered with loose dirt. I put both hands on the tailgate. Chen gave gas. I pushed. Something stepped in the grass to my right. I stopped. It stopped. I pushed again. Step came again. Not leaves. A footstep. My arms went weak. I turned my phone light toward it before I could stop myself. For less than a second, a dark shape near the ditch lifted, then folded back down. The tire caught. Chen shouted, "Get in!" I ran to the passenger door. As my fingers touched the handle, something tapped the door twice. I got in, and Chen reversed hard before I was seated. When we reached the dirt track again, GPS said, "Turn right." The blue line still wanted us inside that road. Chen turned the wheel the other way. For a second, the truck slid sideways, nose pointing toward the dirt track. Then something dragged along my side, back to front. Chen did not stop. The way back was too short. Then the normal sounds came back all at once. Insects, dogs, a motorcycle far away. I did not feel safe in the yard. It felt like we had come back before something finished. Neither of us talked about it that night. I lay in the dorm with my shoes still muddy and waited for morning. The next morning, a local driver took us back. The dirt track was exactly where I remembered it, but 4 concrete blocks blocked the entrance, with red cloth tied between them. The mud in front was smooth. Behind the blocks, our tire marks were there. They started 3 meters inside, as if the truck had already been behind the barrier. He said workers once found an old coffin near that road. Inside was a woman in red bridal clothes, her hair still black. I asked about the red cloth stones at the tunnel entrance. He said those aren't for cars. A car can move stones. Then he pointed at the blocked road. They're for the road. Chen stood up then and said, "Go back to the tunnel." I asked why. "Put the stones back.